So we're in Fresno, California, taking a look at a Rinnai water heater they've got installed here. They called us a couple days back and just looking for some information on what to do with leaking, and we directed them to a couple of companies that could repair. Apparently they got some prices, and the pricing was a little extreme, so they have opted to replace it. So we just want to get a take a look in here and see. You can see water is dripping off everything. The heat exchanger usually is what the problem is. You know, I'm not gonna dive in here and take a look, but you can see it's saturating the side of the building, probably getting in the wall as well. So you know, we'd reuse this, the gas valve, leave it alone. Connector, reuse it on the new unit. Of course, this here is the relief valve. We'll put a new relief valve on, and you know, a new supply line going down to this. This looks like CPVC. So we'll put that in. It looks like half-inch PVC pipe. That's weird. Should be CPVC. Anyways, we'll leave the valve alone, and you know, just file this down. Put a new connector on here. Put a new connector on here. We'll put a new T on here, probably brass, and then a brass, you know, reconnect the relief valve. And then the connection for the wiring, you can see right here. Hopefully that's not getting down into the box. It certainly looks like it because you see water right there. So that's not good. Alright. So I think I need to shut this off. Reason being is just they've got water that's going down the sleeve right here, down this gray tubing, and into the box, which is flipped on right now, and you can see the water down here. So it's not supposed to be in water. Anyway, so we'll call them and see if we can shut that off, and I'm not sure if it's working or not, but they're saturating that, and that's a big problem right there. So anyways, outside of that, this inspection is done. So still here in Fresno, California, we've got a new Rinnai V75 external natural gas installed. The old one's sitting on the back of the truck. So that was the old, was an R85, and about 10 years old. Anyway, so that one's done. It was just a split of the heat exchanger. They got a price quote to replace the heat exchanger, and they just opted to go ahead and put a new unit in. So unit's installed, and you can see brand new stainless steel connector. So there was no isolation valves in here. There was just stainless steel supplies, which you can see. Here's all the parts that came out. So you can see that was all they had. You know, they had hot, cold, and the relief line was all just tied in there. And then of course the relief line was tied in with iron pipe, and can't see it right now, but it was iron pipe nipple, galvanized steel, and so we've got brass in there. So what we did, gave you a brand new brass T on the hot side, relief valve, which didn't come with the unit. We had one in our box, so that's rated for a tankless water heater. And then brass nipples, brass nipple. We did replace the nipple here. It was galvanized pipe and it was corroded, so we replaced that as well. Additionally, we siliconed in the bottom of the box. It's supposed to be by code. In the event of leaking of water, gas, anything, they don't want it in the wall cavity. So it's hard to get around this area because the electrician ran his conduit right up against the shutoff valve. So we just squirted in as much silicone as we could. It's kind of messy, but squirted in out and around just to seal that. Ran some water out of here, activated the unit, so you got piping hot water. It's set to 120. And we don't see any leaking in here, so that's good around the connectors. So cold looks good. Hot, I mean, you'd see it right away. Usually if you have something going on, you'd see it. Here you've got a little bit of pipe or grease from, you know, we grease these up pretty good. We use plumber's grease and grease up the gaskets in there. So no leaking here. Existing gas valve tied straight back in, just reuse the adapter on the new unit. Electrical, there was a lot of water on here, so I don't know if the box is full or not or anything. The homeowner's aware that there was a lot of water down here, and I let them know that looked like water may or may not be in the box. The gasket feels pretty dry, so you might be okay, but we noted that you know, we're not electricians, so we won't work on that. If you have trouble with that switch, you have to have an electrician come out, pull this off. It's just a switch leg in there, so power in, then a switch leg out to the unit. So no big deal. So that's on right now. Unit fires correctly. You can see the click, 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 and then you can hear the burner come on. Of course, the burners, there it is, blows in your face. And of course, my glasses are all fogged now, and the camera was fogged for a second. But so everything looks good here. We're going to go ahead and get the cover back on, and then get this new panel back on, and then we might take another video, might not, just depending on how well this cover fits. Outside of that, this installation is done. So still here in Fresno, in last video, promise, or at least the last portion of this video, we got the new cover on, so it gives you a cutout that is going to accommodate the new vent for the Renai. The old R85, for some reason, it was offset, so the old cover's in the trash. This one fits in there, and we had to do a little modifying up top with the bracket, but no big deal. And then of course up top, it doesn't come with the little pegs. The old one on each side, it has a peg on each side that slides up into the recessed panel and holds the top in place. Well, it doesn't have those, so we just went to Home Depot and got some angle iron. You can see it's very thin iron, aluminum, well, not iron, but aluminum. Cut it to length, and then just give it a quick coat of Rust-Oleum, the white. It's aluminum, so it's not going to rust, but we just put the white coat on there, that way it matches. Down below you can see we've got a zinc screw. It's a self-tapping screw into the original threaded screw down bottom, so the cover is contained. So that's it. Water, we've already tested the water. We've shown you what's going on inside. Covers back on to the unit. Covers back onto the recessed wall panel. Outside of that, this installation is done.